Hello and happy homecoming from the Hill City. It's the first of 3 games today as the Lynchburg Hornets field hockey squad plays host to the Bridgewater Eagles on Schellenberger Field. Lynchburg comes in ranked 16th in the nation against a Bridgewater squad sitting at 6-6 on the season. The Eagles enter with a 2-game winning streak, defeating Virginia Wesleyan and Eastern Mennonite in dominant fashion 6-0 in their most recent contest. Hello and welcome into the broadcast booth. I'm Joe Brennan on behalf of the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network, along with Flo College. Lynchburg perfect on their home field so far this season. Lynchburg an unblemished 5-0 so far this season. They enter this contest with a 3-game winning streak, all against conference foes, sitting with a perfect 3-0 record in the ODAC, a 10-3 overall record across the board. And it's been a dominant offense combined with a stout defense has really been the recipe for success so far this season. When you take a look at the numbers, Lynchburg top 5 in the nation in terms of goals per game, sitting just over 4 a contest. They also are top 30 in goals against average at 1.15. That combination has put them in the top 6 for goal differential so far this season. The corners, the shots, it has been a relentless offense so far this season. Meanwhile, Bridgewater, with a stout defense, they've been successful with 2 keepers between the pipes that have split time this season. The 2 goalkeepers for the Eagles this year, Madeline Miller and Ashley Now. 375 minutes versus 360 minutes, both with a goal against average under 1.6. They'll face a Hornet squad that has been roaring as of late offensively, led by the Deutschland native, Anna Dorestein. Dorestein, the team leader in goals and assists so far this season, one of the most prolific scorers in all of the ODAC, with an ODAC high 25 total points with her 9 goals and 7 assists. The 2024 first team all-conference selection well en route to repeat her accolades from a season ago. But this isn't just a Lynchburg offense that has plenty of talent. You've got a Bridgewater squad that is starting to find their rhythm offensively, and it all starts and finishes with Kylie Amberger. The senior forward out of Fredericksburg, Virginia, has been hot as of late, scoring goals in back-to-back contests. That puts her at the team leader with 3 goals, tied with Molly Best, and a team leading 8 points with 2 assists as well on the season. Shai Schoons will get the start for Lynchburg. Let's walk you through the starting lineups. For Lynchburg, it'll be Kanye Mazizi, Daniel Kuhn, Sarprinz, Allie Freeman, Mallory Lamb, Maddie Schuchter, Aurora Balsamo, Olivia Muir, Anna Dorestein, Megan Stifler, and Schoons as mentioned. Meanwhile, for the Eagles in the back line, it'll be Riley Chandler, Olivia Oleg, and Cameron Klinger, and Natalie Stock, Casey Gell, Lexi Francis, Molly Best, Jade Buckles, Carly Lindell, and Ashley Now gets the nod between the pipes. With that, we'll step aside momentarily for the playing of the national anthem. All the action headed your way on FloSports. Clear skies and good vibes on homecoming. A Saturday matinee for Lynchburg field hockey to kick things off. We'll have men's soccer at 2. Women's soccer takes the field at 5. A whole lot of festivities going around town in Central Virginia as the Lynchburg Hornets have had one heck of a weekend across the board. Hall of Fame on Thursday. The pep rally for Midnight Madness going till midnight last night. You had a whole lot of field hockey representing, but I'm sure they're up and going quick to start things off this morning. As we mentioned in the open, Bridgewater with 2 consecutive wins in their 2 most recent contests, picking up a pair of conference victories. They sit at 3-1 in the ODAC, with their sole loss coming at the hands of Shenandoah on the road. It was a 1-2 ball game. You know this is a Bridgewater team that has started to find their rhythm and can certainly cause some chaos. They stumbled out of the gate to begin the year. It's a team that dropped their first 4 games to start the season. 0-6 to CNU, 1-2 to Mary Washington, 1-2 to St. Mary's, and 1-2 to Sewanee. But 2 of those 4 losses came in overtime. So you know this is a team that can really hang around, and they do not tend to give up very many goals. Those first 4 games of this season, since then, they've only given up multiple goals in 3 contests so far, and right now they're riding back-to-back shutouts. Nevertheless, Amberger, our player to watch, will kick things off at center field. Looking to send this one back into her own defensive zone. And happy homecoming. Things getting started here in the Hill City. Mallory Lamb, far side of the field, swings it around. Olivia Muir. This is a Lynchburg team that has really thrived with time of possession, especially in their most recent victory over Randolph-Macon. It was one of the more unusual games that Lynchburg has played so far this season. Had a very similar feel in the first half to that Ursinus game. And if you remember that one way back in mid-September, early October rather. No, pardon me, mid-September. That was an 0-1 loss for Lynchburg, where they rattled off 21 shots, 11 of which were on goal, but they were shut out for just the only time this season. Then you go to the Randolph-Macon game, which we most recently played this past Wednesday. Lynchburg outshot Randolph-Macon 15-2 in the first half, and they went to the locker room knotted at zeros. Lynchburg just kept their foot on the gas, put 12 more shots up in the third, while not allowing Randolph-Macon to get anything on their half of the field. Lynchburg with 15 total shots in the second half that led to 3 total goals, and they left with a 3-0 victory. Sar Prinz notched the game winner last game with the first goal against the Yellow Jackets. She's someone that has taken a major leap this season, and we just can't get enough about talking about her day in and day out. Prinz, third on the team in goals this year. You've got 3 Hornets with 8 or more goals this season. Dorestein and Kuhn with 9. Prinz right there with 8. With Dorestein and Kuhn, that tandem of forwards, they've done a lot for this offense without just scoring the ball. A combined 12 assists between those 2 players. Dorestein, the team leader, with 7. Francis driving down the far side of the field. Mazizi pokes it out of play. Bridgewater will reset at the blue line. This is a Bridgewater squad that can really beat you by committee. They've had 13 different goal scorers so far this season. But you've only got 4 players with multiple goals and nobody with more than 3. Sar Prinz carving her way inside. Whistle blows it dead, and Lynchburg will earn the first penalty corner of today's contest. You know, as we go back and talk about Lynchburg's most recent affair against Randolph-Macon, hard to do so without taking a look at the penalty corners. They tabbed 20 PCs in their most recent contest. They weren't able to score on any of them. In a game where they had darn near a perfect performance, that was really the one thing that you could point at and say, we'd like this to just be a little bit better. A big part of it was just the receptions on these injections. A lot of balls that just popped over the stick and allowed the Eagles or Yellow Jackets defense to get back into the mix. Kuhn's shot deflected away, rolls back outside the semicircle. The offensive rebound, now trying to take it herself. She'll dish it up top to Mallory Lamb. Lamb surveys. Oh, my goodness. That one tipped off the stick of Francis, went right into the dome. Nevertheless, we resume play. Olivia Muir tackled by an Eagle, but a whistle gives it right back to Lynchburg. Freeman operating quickly on the near sideline. Freeman with a big whack and a beautiful stop made by Now. Quick roller, far side of the field. Couldn't be kept in play. Balsamo will enter it back into the field. Up top from Muir. Dorestein has it ripped away. The Eagles now looking for a clearance. Quick pass at the middle of the field. It's Best operating at mid. A whistle stops the transition opportunity. The Eagles will reset. They'll build it from behind. Played back to the defender in Lindley. Dished over for Francis. And another Eagles turnover keeps it on Lynchburg's offensive half of the field. High pass. Gets past the Lynchburg back line. Amberger out in front. The team's leader in points with a swing, and it's in. Bridgewater strikes first. Kylie Amberger with her fourth goal this season. And the Eagles swarm the Hornets in the opening frame of their homecoming affair, and it all started with a beautiful outlet pass over the head of Muir. One man to beat with the keeper, the Eagles, with a silencer. That is the first time Lynchburg has trailed this season on their home field. Now, Relaford and company will look for a response. This is a Bridgewater squad that would love to play spoiler tonight. They're looking to get over the hump and beat Lynchburg for the first time since 2015. Their most recent victory on November 6th of 2015. That was a ODAC playoff game between the Eagles and the Hornets. A game that was decided in double overtime. That punched Bridgewater's ticket to the ODAC final, but since then it has been all Lynchburg. They have won the last 11 matchups against Bridgewater. And the Hornets, since 2008, have won 23 of the 24 meetings between the two sides. Christian Berry down the near sideline. Up to Fenn Byman. Now Freeman, the all-ODAC selection from a year ago, has it tackled. Here comes the counterattack from the Eagles. 2-on-1 break. Mizizi tracking him down with a beeline. A Zimbabwe native with a beautiful burnout. Nevertheless, it results in a penalty corner for Bridgewater. Bridgewater with another good chance right here, just over the midway point of the opening quarter. Dished up top to Amberger. She'll swing over far side wing, tipped up, and rolls wide to the far post. So far this season, Lynchburg, the only remaining unbeaten in conference play. Shenandoah and Bridgewater, the second and third spot in the conference standings, both sitting at 3-1. And in those conference games, Bridgewater has really excelled, outscoring their opponents 10-2. That's the second largest margin, just behind Lynchburg, 18-1. Lynchburg looking to get back to the mountaintop this season. Last year with an ODAC championship appearance, Balsamo has her shot blocked. It's Jade Buckles, the senior midfielder, right in front of it. Nevertheless, a gorgeous day for some homecoming festivities in Central Virginia. 64 and mostly sunny. You got a high of 77 in the forecast. Don't expect to see that moving forward. Slowly starting to cool down, and when you get that crisp fall feeling, you just know that conference playoffs are right around the corner. Carly Lindley. Lynchburg on the interior. Dorenstein over for Christian Berry. Unwinds and finds the equalizer. The freshman with her second collegiate goal, and it comes in back-to-back contests. We'll take another look at the scrum we saw inside this circle, but Christian Berry Gets her stick on it while Now's out of position, and Christian Berry says, well, my time is now. Sneaks it through. We've got a tie ball game on our hands. Last year, these two teams squared off in the ODAC semifinal on Schellenberger Field. That was a 3-0 victory for Lynchburg. Two of the three goal scorers from last year's semifinal game no longer with the Hornets. And it's a squad that has a whole lot of talent. You've seen Christian Berry, the freshman, already get involved. And this is the time of the year when freshmen on every team across the board finally start to find that rhythm. They get in that groove where you've experienced the non-conference. You're getting involved in ODAC play. Here's Anna Dorestein out in front. Dorestein just wide. Those are the ones that make you hold your breath if you're a Bridgewater fan. Anna Dorestein, one of the top offensive players in the ODAC this season. A rare miss from the junior forward. Dorestein leads the conference in shots on goal. She's third in shots overall. Also sits at tied for first for goals, second in assists. And you think about, who's going to come away with that Conference Player of the Year. You have the sense it's going to be either one of the two members of the top two tandems from either Lynchburg or Shenandoah. Claudia Lenahan and Reagan Flory for the Shenandoah Hornets have been two explosive playmakers. And then Danielle Kuhn and Anna Dorestein. Those are the four players this season with 20 or more points. Plenty of field hockey still left to be played in the 2025 campaign, but right now those are certainly your odds favorites to walk away with the award. Last year, Shenandoah with darn near a clean sweep of the Field Hockey Awards. The only outlier was the ODAC Rookie of the Year was Berkeley Miller, the goalkeeper from Virginia Wesleyan, who had a fantastic campaign. But it was Farron Winter, the grad student for Shenandoah, and Elise Vasquez won Defensive Player of the Year for Shenandoah. Both of those players have since graduated, and you've started to see the new wave at Shenandoah. Kanya Mazizi up top. Low swinging shot, ricochets over the far pipe. Allie Freeman can't get the rebound touch, nevertheless brings it back out. The shot ricochets up top, sticking with it. Freeman, backhand shot, couldn't put enough juice on it. Goes 5-hole between the legs. Dished over for Mazizi. Everybody for Lynchburg on the left side of the field. Mazizi trying to take it over to the right. Cuts inside, sticks her foot in the ground, and gets bit by the turf monster. Hits the deck. Lynchburg maintains possession. It's Aurora Balsamo with the entry feed. The cross is through. Did anybody get a stick on it? They're going to say no. Goal's waved off. That's textbook from Aurora Balsamo. Was looking for the assist. It's not going to count if nobody got a stick on it inside the circle. Whistle blows it dead. Allie Freeman will be able to reset. Balsamo calling for it on the far side. Instead, she'll inject it into the middle. A scuffle for it, won by Dorestein, swarmed by three Eagles, and a kick leads to another Lynchburg penalty corner. It'll be Freeman from the near end line. Up to Doris Stein. Over from Azizi. 2 touches, lost the handle. Ball kicked outside the semi. Now the Eagles want to go up the far sideline. A long ball, nobody's home. It'll be scooped up by Lynchburg's Avery Watkins. Now the Eagles look to apply the pressure, keep it on that half of the field, but a great clearance from good passing from Lynchburg. There's a beautiful feed from Balsamo over to Dorestein. The extra pass for Kuhn. Back to Dorestein. Still batted around on the goal line. And Lynchburg capitalizes with their second goal of the afternoon. It wasn't pretty, but it counts the same. Lynchburg with a pair. Let's see if we can figure out who got a stick on it. You see Maddie Schuchter on the far post, along with Callie Short. Yeah, that's Maddie Schuchter. She says, play the UK national anthem for me. That's her goal song. Certainly a fan favorite here. She teed that one up. You got to be on high alert whenever you see Maddie Schuchter on the far sideline, because if that ball comes and she's in position on the near post, you just know that the British are coming. You're going to have the clock reset. I'll put 15 back on. That'll most likely do it for our first frame of action. Hannah Christianberry gets her second goal of the season, which comes in back-to-back games. Maddie Schuchter with her 5th goal and her first one since that Sweetbriar contest where she earned a pair. We'll step aside. Hornets lead by 1 after an offensive frame to kick things off on a homecoming Saturday from the Hill City. The ladies are having some fun out on Schellenberger Field. An explosive opening first quarter of action. 3 combined goals through 15 minutes. It all started with Kylie Amberger, the leading goal scorer and point scorer this season for the Eagles. Found her 4th goal of the 2025 campaign. And a response from the Lynchburg Hornets. It was the freshman Hannah Christianberry that tapped her 2nd goal of the season, followed by the UK native Maddie Schuchter to give Lynchburg a 2-1 advantage. Both teams shooting 50%, 4 shots for Lynchburg, 2 shots for Bridgewater. Played back. Now they want to go up the near sideline. Lynchburg trying to force them to the middle, through the middle. That's how this Lynchburg squad likes to operate. Bodes well in their favor on that pressure. Takeaway within 24 seconds of the second quarter. Saar Prinz gets tangled up and loses possession. Stock takes it, but Prinz right back, picks her pocket. Now dishes down low for Schuchter, gives it right back. A swing off the boot of Molly Best, the junior out of Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Now Freeman to the interior, knocked away by Buckles. Long ball laid out in front. Here's a chance for Bridgewater. It's Lexi Francis working against Lamb. And how about Kanya Mazizi once again getting down and beating everybody? Kanya Mazizi has been a menace on the defensive end out of the midfield unit for Lynchburg so far today. It was like every time Bridgewater has a transition opportunity, the Zimbabwe native is booking it down the field. And this is a Bridgewater team that certainly has some speed behind him. Pass over to Kuhn. Now she'll slow the tempo for Balsamo on the far side of the field, looking to get it into the circle. Kuhn can't handle it. A white jersey comes out of the pack with the pearl. Makes Stifler with a takeaway. Now we talk a little bit about the speed that this Bridgewater team has. Look nowhere else than 20 in white, Jade Buckles. The ODAC reigning champion for both indoor and outdoor track and field for the 60-meter, 100-meter, and 200-meter. Jade Buckles, when she gets out and running, it's time to buckle up. She's got some wheels on her. Nevertheless, Lynchburg right now controlling the tempo, playing a slower style of ball right now, and it's led to a lot of possession in their offensive zone. Here they'll get another penalty corner. They've had a handful of opportunities thus far today with the penalty corners, but very similar to their most recent contest against Randolph-Macon. No goals quite yet. This will be their 5th penalty corner thus far. Allie Freeman with the injection. Last time they went to Dorestein for a give and go with Mazizi. This time they go up top for Muir. Lets it loose. Muir, Balsamo with a tip in, and the Hornets are buzzing. Aurora Balsamo with Lynchburg's 3rd goal today. And Lynchburg has scored 3 goals within 7 minutes. All of them have looked quite similar as well. The senior forward was really the go-to girl a year ago on those penalty corner situations. She's got a whole lot of heat behind her swing. But they're a little soft, delicate touch. That's all it takes. A great response from Lynchburg after going down 1-0. 3 unanswered goals rather quickly. They trailed for 5 minutes, then were tied for 4. Since then, it's been all Hornets. Dorestein with a nice takeaway. Now it's Maddie Schuchter. Nice stick work from Mazizi. Keeps possession, but Stifler couldn't handle it. Couple of substitutions. waiting to check in, one for each side. Olivia Allinger for the Eagles and Tatum Humphrey for the Hornets. Swing down the near sideline. Watkins gets the handle. Trying to create some open space, a soft touch. It can't stay inside that blue line. Currently Lindley will return us back to action. No room to operate right now for the Eagles. Defensively, Lynchburg applying a whole lot of pressure and causing a lot of problems right now for Bridgewater, just trying to get it across the timeline. Possessed by Gurrell. To the far corner, met by a pair of Hornets. Gets it out, but right into the stick of Dorestein, who loses it to Molly Best. Best once again swarmed by a pair of Hornets, but an outlet pass to the far sideline creates a little bit of daylight. Balsamo tangled up with Kylie Parker. Parker tried a similar pass that led to the first goal of today's game. It was a phenomenal outlet pass that went over the head of the Lynchburg back line. Here's Watson. Stripped away by Freeman, but a foul called. Tatum Humphreys comes in for Aurora Balsamo on the far side of the field. And as she gets into her spot, Bridgewater trying to clear it in that exact zone. Long ball. Christian Berry and Fenna come in for Lynchburg. No icing called on that long pass. Different kind of hockey. Nevertheless, Lynchburg from their own blue line. Good takeaway. And Olivia Muir showcases why she's one of the top defensemen in the conference. She is a brick wall. Really a key cog in what this Lynchburg defensive group does. And it's always a team effort. You've got a whole lot of talent back there with players like Stifler and Lamb, Watkins as well. They can cause problems for almost any offense in the conference as Natalie Stock, the freshman out of Ashburn, Virginia, comes in for the Eagles. Another good ball. That seems like the recipe today for Bridgewater. Those high-flying passes coming from midfield or just behind. Lynchburg mainly likes to keep it down low. This is a team that operates on the ground rather than by air. Oof, look out. Riley Chandler just took one to the shoulder. This is a Lynchburg team that's been a little bit banged up so far this season. Mark has been sidelined for some time and will likely be sidelined for some time with a broken heel. She's got the boot up and rocking the scooter. on the Lynchburg sideline and will likely be that way maybe for the rest of the season, but we'll see how that pans out. To be fair, we thought that Audie Shaver would be done for the rest of the season for Lynchburg with a broken heel, and he missed about 6 weeks. And he's back and playing for the Lynchburg men's soccer team. Now, you've got Kanye Mazizi playing with a broken finger. You got a handful of Hornets that are dealing with a minor plague of some injuries. Just that's the natural way of sports, especially when you've got that ball flying at you at the velocities that we see in ODAC play. Ollinger. A pass that ricochets off a Lynchburg boot. If you're a Bridgewater fan, we appreciate you tuning in today. If you're a Hornet fan, we're sorry you couldn't be here today. Homecoming, it's been a party in the parking lot. Alumni from all over in town this weekend. Whole lot of festivities going. Coolers full of ice, grills are hot, dogs are sizzling. And right now the Hornets are buzzing up 3-1 here in the second quarter. Last year on homecoming, Lynchburg went 2-0-1. Field hockey had a big-time victory over Washington and Lee. It was a 4-1 contest. Men's soccer tied W&L right after in a 1-1 draw, which was ultimately the preview of the ODAC championship on Schellenberger Field. Women's soccer notched a 4-1 victory. Men's cross country also finished first that day as well, but that was in Glassboro, New Jersey. So our Prince down the far sideline draws a whistle. Just under 3.5 remaining here in the first half. And Lynchburg with their 6th penalty corner of the opening half. Kuhn, Balsamo, and Junker awaiting to check in. Freeman down low. Last time they went to Muir. They'll go to her once again. And that's what we were talking about against Randolph-Macon. Couldn't handle it cleanly, and the Eagles get back into play before Lynchburg can capitalize on the opportunity. Mazizi loses it out of bounds, and once again, Bridgewater able to defuse Lynchburg's offensive sequence. Eight shots for Lynchburg, 7 of which have been on goal. 2 shots for the Eagles. And the one that was on goal was the one that was true. Under 2.5 to go. Watkins. Tinbaimon. Nice pass from Azizi. Splits 2 defenders with a pass over to Kuhn. Goes right back to the Zimbabwe native. The 2-time All-American dishes back for Allie Freeman. Into the circle. Scooped up by an Eagle. Casey Grell dishes it outside. Lynchburg takes it right back. Mizizi with a crossover to her right. Entry pass. Schuchter with a deflection. Schuchter staying with it. Now knocks it out. Kuhn. Lost possession. Bridgewater trots towards the blue line. Tatum Humphreys with a takeaway over for Allie Freeman. Amberger gets it. Amberger galloping downfield. The right idea, but the wrong execution. Rolls out of play. That was a great look. Everything was right there. All just didn't roll their way on that series of events. Oh, what a play. Francis goes through the legs of Watkins. The cross sent out of bounds by Stifler. And it'll be a penalty corner. Stifler might have been trying to keep it right on that line. But a whole lot of heat behind Francis as you take a look at the between the legs in slow motion. A little shout out to our production crew, Grayson Howe and Micah Adams today, running the broadcast for us. $50 remaining. Far side of the castle. 2 touches and a swing. That's sent back by Freeman. Rolls out of play. Last touched by Bridgewater's Ollinger. Or no, rather say it was last touched by a Hornet. Buckles will possess at the blue line. 30 seconds and rolling. Last chance in the first half. Lynchburg wants to counterattack. Schuchter's got a good chance at it. Wow, they called it out of bounds right along that line. Initially looked like she had kept it in play. Ooh, Allie Freeman with a gut check. That concludes the opening half. Lynchburg with 2 goals in the first compared to the Eagles' 1. Then Lynchburg responds in the second for their 3rd goal of the day. That takes us to a 3-1 total as we head to half. Second coming up at the Hill City. And we welcome you back into the Hill City. A 3-1 scoreboard through the opening 30 minutes of action. It was the Eagles that struck first. Then Lynchburg with a big-time response. 3 goals unanswered. And that gives them the current lead. We've had 4 different goal scorers thus far. And right now, good vibes here in the Hill City as Lynchburg controls on their first game of today's triple header from Schellenberger Field. Joe Brennan here on behalf of LHSN. It's been a good one thus far, filled with plenty of action. I'll show you some of the stats from our opening half. As you can see right here through the opening 30 minutes, Lynchburg with clear control with 8 shots and 6 corners. But those 4 saves right now really keeping Bridgewater in this ball game. The Hornets have had 17 fouls thus far compared to the Eagles' 10. Nevertheless, Bridgewater looking to get their first win over the Hornets since 2015. Lynchburg has won 23 of the last 24 meetings between these two squads going back to 2006. Maddie Schuchter gets her second of the day. The British are coming. The first by ground, the second by the air. And it's a full-on attack. Maddie Schuchter's mom also popped in during the intermission. Said that she was a big fan of the LHSN production. Helps her watch the games across the pond. But in attendance tonight, and Maddie putting on a show. That is Schuchter's second time this season with a pair of goals. Had 2 against Sweetbriar and a dominant Lynchburg 13-0 victory over the Vixens. Freeman called for the trip against Molly Best. Danny Kuhn looking to counter. Doesn't have numbers, and it's taken away by Buckles, but claims possession right back. Now crafty stick work to create an open lane. Enough daylight to get it through to Anna Dorestein. Kuhn tackled. Balsamo returns the favor. Looks like she got whacked on the hand. Nevertheless, we resume play. Mazizi possesses. Lamb with the interception. Dishes over for Balsamo. Kicks for Kuhn. Kuhn dribbles down the near sideline, tries to split a pair of Eagles. Casey Grell plays it up for Stock. Balsamo for Kuhn. looking for the cross. Dorestein tabbed with obstruction. Mazizi handles, plays it back over for Muir. She'll look to reverse the field over for Lamb right at the Lynchburg script. Tatum Humphreys checks in for Balsamo, who heads to the sideline. Couple of bodies tangled up and hit the deck. Stock and Humphreys. And it results in the 7th corner of the afternoon for the Hornets. Freeman will have the injection. Up top for Prinz. Couldn't handle it cleanly. Buckles tips it away with a nice poke check. Lamb inside for Mazizi. A backhanded dish that's ripped away. Takes it right back. Picks her pocket. Nice poke from Dorestein. Laid out for Freeman. Callie Short comes in for Kuhn. And now Den Byman enters for Prince. Entry feed for Dorestein. Over for Short. Callie Short tipped in. Maddie Schuchter. Let's see if she got a piece of that. It's either Short's first or we got a hat trick for Schuchter. That's all Callie Short. The sophomore forward comes into the contest and tabs her first goal of the day in a matter of moments. Didn't take long for Short to find her first of the second half. Lynchburg now with a commanding 5-1 advantage with 2 goals in the second half. Still yet to reach the midway mark of quarter number 3. Near sideline, Klinger. Amberger over for Best. Her pass taken away by Christian Berry. Muir with a laser right on the money for Short. Towards the edge for Humphrey. The cross over for Christian Berry. Tipped away by now. Or pardon me, we actually had a change at the break. Now on the sideline, it's Madeline Miller, the senior out of Yorktown, Virginia. Short, blocked by Miller. Kicked away, ball still free. Short fighting for it. And Bridgewater escapes. Now and Miller have really split time this season. We highlighted their minute differential so far this season, each with 360 minutes or more. now is the team leader with 375. And that is a tandem of 1A and 1B for Emily Bagby and this Eagle coaching staff. Bridgewater with a chance. Nice stick from Stifler. Jars it loose. You do have a new wave of coaches for both of these teams. Jenny Relaford in her second season at the helm for the Hornets. Bridgewater's Emily Bagby in her debut season as head coach for the Bridgewater Eagles. A 2020 graduate of the Bridgewater field hockey program. Served as the assistant coach since 2021. And we talk a little bit about her rotating door, if you will, between the pipes. She was a four-year member of the field hockey squad that tallied 141 saves as a keeper wearing the crimson and gold. You got to feel like she knows what she's doing when it comes to coaching in the pipes especially. And you've got two keepers that are really at the top of the ODAC in every statistical category. Obviously, Randolph-Macon's Vasquez-Torres is really the top talent in the conference, one of the premier keepers in all of Division III field hockey. But you got a pair of goaltenders for the Eagles that are both making their mark. Miller graduates after this season, but you got to think that now, next year, if she can build off what she's already done this season, it's going to be scary what this Bridgewater team can do defensively in 2026. Whole lot of young pieces on this squad as well. A team that will only get better from here on out. And they've had a whole lot of success in the last half decade and even beyond, if you want to go back the last 10 years. Den Byman, top spin to the inside. Lynchburg called for the foul. Couple of substitutions coming on for each side. Schuchter and Junker in for Lynchburg. A little shout out for Abby Junker. It's her birthday today. Right now, probably feeling pretty good. 5-1, Lynchburg leading in their homecoming contest. Maddie Schuchter. It's a hat trick. I talked to her last game. She said she was hunting for three against Randolph-Macon. Jokingly gave her a little bit of a hard time after she couldn't find three. A great response here today. Maddie Schuchter putting on a show. 1 if by land, 2 if by air. The sophomore forward out of Exeter, England, has had a phenomenal second season with the Lynchburg Hornets. She's going to be a dangerous threat for this Lynchburg team for years to come. Autumn Just now in for the Bridgewater Eagles. She'll take the spot of Kylie Amberger. Oh my goodness, Schuchter on that far post. That's how she scored the first one today. She was waiting for it. That ball couldn't deposit into the breadbasket. Rolls out of play. Freeman with a nice poke, but lost her twig. Junker stripped by Buckles. Six points today for Maddie Schuchter with 3 goals. That leads all scorers. And I've got a feeling she's not done. And you've got Mom in town all the way from England. You got to put on a show. And right now, Miss Schuchter is certainly getting her money's worth. Free of charge to get in the building, but I assure you that plane ticket was not the same. The Hornets will now get their 8th penalty corner of the afternoon. 1:10 to go in quarter number 3. Up top for Balsamo. And it'll be back-to-back chances for Lynchburg out of the corner. Kuhn. Just wide. Freeman to the inside. Another chance for the Hornets. That's unsuccessful. Ball trickles out of play off the stick of Ollinger. Balsamo brings us back into action. 20 seconds to go. Last attempt for the Hornets in quarter number 3. Allie Freeman, the backhanded shot. Top right, out of bounds. And that'll bring us to a close in quarter number 3. Lynchburg tabs 3 goals in the third quarter. And they head to the final frame up 6-1. It's a hat trick for Maddie Schuchter as Lynchburg takes the lead going to the fourth. Welcome back into the homecoming contest between the Lynchburg Hornets and the Bridgewater Eagles. We've got a parking lot party going on with none other than the Dell mascot for Lynchburg. Rejuvenated, he got a new makeover, got a fresh look for 2025 and moving forward. Was introduced last night at Midnight Madness for the men's basketball and women's basketball pep rally opener. He seems to be the talk of the town today. Was out there taking pictures with everybody and putting smiles on faces. Lynchburg leads 6-1. Maddie Schuchter leads all scorers with 3 goals. Maddie Schuchter now up to 7 goals on this season. That's good for the 4th most on the team. And now you've got 4 Hornets with 7 or more goals this year. She's 2 behind the first place spot that's tied with Kuhn and Dorestein, and just 1 behind 3rd place with Sar Prinz at 8. And the 2024 second team All-ODAC selection with such a great outing today. It ties a career high that was set last year against Ursinus with 3 goals in mid-September. Just the second time in her short tenure as a Lynchburg Hornet where she has recorded a hat trick. Allie Freeman goes up top to the castle for Mazizi. Kicks over Dorestein. Now down low for Prinz. Help comes from upstairs. The entry feed is kicked away by Miller. Anna Dorestein fighting for the Pearl. Lynchburg with 16 shots compared to the Eagles' 2. And they have absolutely pelted the keepers. No matter who's been in goal, either now or Miller, they've both experienced a flurry of shots. 11 have been on target. That's a great percentage to have if you're Lynchburg. 11 of the 16 on the mark. I'm not a math man, but I can tell you that's well over 50%. Mazizi working to her left, tries to cut back to her right, cut off by Best. Now it's Francis trying to beat the Lynchburg back line. Muir stops her momentarily, but the Eagles continue to march forward. Across midfield, Best. Prinz called for obstruction. Beautiful day in Lynchburg, Virginia. You couldn't draw it up any better. About 65 degrees and mostly sunny. Weather will just continue on to get better. Such a treat. And the Lynchburg field hockey team kicking things off on a positive note for all the fans in attendance today. Danny Kuhn's shot knocked away by Miller. Another stop for Bridgewater. Lynchburg will get it back up at the blue line. Entry pass finds Maddie Schuchter, a career-high 4 goals. Everything's going through right now for Maddie Schuchter. Maggie Fees on the sideline gives Schuchter a nice little curtsy as she comes to the bench. What a day it's been for the sophomore forward, Maddie Schuchter. Right now, the Hornets in firm control. We talked about their offense in the open. Anna Dorestein with a nice move. A better defense right there. Olivia Ollinger with a brilliant takeaway. This is a Lynchburg team that's 6th in the nation for scoring average with over 4 goals per game. And that number will just continue to get higher with 7 on Shelley today. Callie Short has her shot knocked away. Good stick from Ollinger. Best to the far sideline. This Lynchburg pressure has been unrelentless today. Buckles gets tackled, quite literally, by Allie Freeman. Bridgewater will reset as we approach the halfway mark here in the final quarter of play. Men's soccer on deck as we continue the homecoming festivities today. They'll play Eastern Mennonite University at 2 p.m. Megan Mitchell with a nice pass over from Azizi. Lynchburg patiently operating, trying to get back into the circle. We'll flip the field. Watkins trying to dish it inside. Ripped away by Best. She'll change field positioning. Watkins wins possession to the spot. Dorestein out and running. Weaving her way through traffic. Fenna lets it rip. Great save by Miller. Another big swing and another big time stop. Dorestein's pass for short, right on the doorstep, is blown dead with a whistle for obstruction. And the Hornets with another penalty corner chance. Short will have the insertion. Far side wing. Den Byman has her shot blocked. Another save made by Miller. Lynchburg still with possession inside the circle. And they'll earn another penalty corner. A great stand right there from the veteran keeper, Miller. And try it again. Once again, Fenna. And another stop. The penalty corner sequence extinguished. And now Mizizi will bring us back in play from the blue line. Under 6 minutes to go. Fenna driving towards the end line. Taken away by Lindley. Schoons with a kick. And a call on the Eagles. And pardon me, Schoons now on the sideline. Samira Garavi in the cage for Lynchburg. Lynchburg has got a handful of keepers that they can turn to. Schoons has been the ace this season for the Hornets. Really built off a strong sophomore campaign now in her junior season. Garavi, the senior, has been a solid option for Lynchburg as well. And they still got Lilia Seifert as well that can go to. That's the freshman out of Fairfax, Virginia. She'll likely be the one to carry the baton in years to come. And right now, Schoons, someone that has just gotten better with time. She's aged like fine wine during her 3 years with Lynchburg. Has gotten better and better with each season. Last year, she did miss some time, a good deal of time, with a concussion. And Garavi stepped in without missing a beat. Made it a little bit of a competition in the offseason. Muir. Her pass taken away. The dish over for Buckles runs wide, and the Hornets keep it in their offensive zone. Four minutes to go. Kuhn called for the kick. Humphreys has it ricocheted off her wrist. Zizi from the blue line. Finds its way over to Fenna. Zizi kicks over for Lamb. Kuhn into the circle. Obstruction called on Dorestein. Prinz will now take the spot of Dorestein in that front line. There's 90 seconds to go. Lynchburg with a dominant display of field hockey today. 7 goals. That marks the 3rd highest total they have scored in a game this season. On deck, they've got a pair of road contests taking on Virginia Wesleyan and Washington and Lee. The game against the Generals will be a fun one without a doubt. 2 teams in the ODAC ranked in the national polls. The Generals checked in at 25 in the latest rankings of the NFHCA coaches poll. Meanwhile, for the Bridgewater Eagles, after today, you stay in conference play on the road at Randolph-Macon, traveling to Ashland, then you conclude with 3 straight home games, starting with Meredith, the final non-conference game of the season for the Eagles, then Sweetbriar and Washington and Lee, all at the stadium at Jobson Athletic Complex. Well, the storyline of today, it was all about the Exeter England native Maddie Schuchter. Notches a career-high 4 goals en route to a dominant 7-1 victory. 1 up, 1 down for the Lynchburg Hornets for the homecoming festivities on Schellenberger Field today. Men's soccer coming up at 2, women's soccer at 5. And it was the Eagles that struck first, out in front 1-0 after Amberger put it through, but Lynchburg answered in a big-time way. The Hornets, 7 goals. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third, and 1 in the fourth. And everybody's having a good time in the Hill City. We'll step aside momentarily. Men's soccer coming up on deck. 2 o'clock as they take on the Eastern Mennonite Royals here on FloSports.